We all know Bluey and Bingo have their moments with Bandit and Chili, but what if there was another healer sibling in the mix? Well, there were actually very high chances of that. In one episode, we see a family photo from when Chili and Bandit went on vacation to Sydney. The photo shows a younger Chili, and if you look closely, you might spot something interesting. Chili's belly is a little rounded, which suggests she could have been pregnant at that time. This could mean Bluey's older brother was meant to be there. Let's assume this older brother would be a boy, just like Bandit. He'd probably have the same energy and sense of humor. Growing up with Bluey and Bingo would have been fun. He'd likely get along with them, helping Bandit and Chili with the kids' antics. You can imagine him joining in on the family games, sharing moments with Bluey and Bingo. There'd be moments where you'd see Bandit and Chili playing with the three of them instead of just Bluey and Bingo. It's easy to picture him being a good pup, just like his parents raised Bluey. He'd fit right in, adding to the fun chaos that the Healer family is known for. He'd be a great big brother, someone Bluey and Bingo could look up to and share adventures with. Wouldn't that overshadow Bluey's character? Well, no. At the heart of it, Bluey would still be the main focus of the show. Even if she weren't the oldest, she'd still be the star. Take Rusty, for example. Rusty was originally going to be the main character, even though he's the middle child in his own family. His design gives us a clue about this. Notice the diamond-shaped mark on his chest? It's part of his unique look, and it suggests he was meant to play a bigger role. But as the show developed, the focus shifted to Bluey, and Rusty became the middle child. Yet, despite his position in the family, Rusty remains the main character. His older brother and younger sister are important, but Rusty is the one who leads the stories. Now, imagine if Bluey had her older brother. The family dynamic would be a bit like Rusty's. Bluey would be the middle child, with an older brother to hang out with, and a younger sister Bingo to look after. Her older brother would definitely play an important role, but he wouldn't overshadow Bluey. Instead, he'd be a guide, teaching her and sharing adventures together. Bluey and Bingo would still have their unique sibling bond, with Bluey as the one learning and growing through each episode. In this setup, Bluey would still get the spotlight. Her older brother would fit in, but he wouldn't steal the show. The Healer family would be just as fun, but Bluey would remain the star, as she's meant to be. If Bluey's older brother had been around, he'd likely be about 2 years older than her. That would make him the perfect playmate and someone to look up to. Just like Bluey and Bingo, they'd have their own sibling bond, full of fun, games, and even a little mischief. But everything happens for a good reason, because if it didn't turn out like this, we wouldn't be able to see our cute Bingo. Now, if Bluey's older brother had been part of the family, things might have turned out differently for Bingo. It's possible that if they had an older brother, Bingo might not have been born at all. Bandit and Chili's views on having more kids are clear. In one scene, Bandit talks to a friend about getting a vasectomy, a surgery that stops him from having any more children.
I'm keen to get it done, but Chili, she wants to keep her options open, but I don't know. Do we want any more of these things, really?
This conversation shows that Chili wasn't completely sure about having more kids, even after Bingo was born. Fast forward 5 years, and there's still no third baby. But imagine if their first child had been a boy, and 2 years later, Bluey arrived. In that case, Bandit and Chili might have thought long and hard about whether to have a third child at all, especially with the financial and practical considerations they faced. This could have made Bingo's place in the family uncertain, but no matter what, there's still a chance that Bingo would have come into the world. The Healers are a family that is full of surprises, and they could have easily decided to have her even with an older brother. Anyways, as for his personality, he would likely be a mix of the best traits from the Healer family. Just like Bandit and Chili, he'd be playful but also responsible. Since he'd be a little older, he'd probably be the one to help out around the house and with the girls. Imagine him being like Uncle Radley, someone who enjoys the outdoors, maybe even like Grandpa Mort, always keen for a nature adventure. He'd have a calm, grounded vibe that would balance out Bluey's wild energy. Bluey's older brother would also be a great role model for both Bluey and Bingo. Since Bandit and Chili both have distinct personalities, we can guess that Bluey's older brother might take after some of their traits too. Like Bandit, he'd likely have a strong sense of adventure, but also be responsible like Chili. He might be the type to encourage his sisters to explore the world around them, while also stepping in when they need guidance. He'd probably be a big help with school activities, maybe even helping Bluey with homework or taking Bingo to the park. And just like Bluey's dad, he might love nature, showing his sisters how to appreciate the outdoors. It's easy to picture him teaching Bluey how to ride a bike. He'd have learned first, and he'd be patient enough to guide her through it. He'd help around the house too, lending a hand to Bandit and Chili when they're busy with work. Besides, having an older son would be a huge win for Bandit. He would finally get a chance to play the sports he loves again, and maybe even find more time to relax. Right now, Bandit is always busy taking care of the girls, playing with them, or taking them to the park. But if he had an older son, that child could help out with these tasks. Bandit and Chili would have some time to themselves, maybe even to rest, which would be a huge relief. With the extra help from their older son, Bandit could also return to his love for rugby. Just imagine how cool it would be for Bandit and his son to bond over a game of rugby. It could become their special time, just like when Bandit used to play with his friends. In the episode Fruit Bat, Chili even says that Bandit probably dreams of playing rugby, and we see this dream come true when Bluey finds him in a crossover dream.
I'd say he's dreaming about playing touch football with his mates.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't get to play that much anymore, so he keeps having dreams about it.
Why does he get to play it for real life?
Well, he's busy, sweetheart. Busy working and looking after you two.
It's clear Bandit misses those moments with his friends. An older son would mean Bandit could get back to doing the things he loves without feeling like he's letting the family down. He'd be able to spend time with his friends again, maybe even play a match or two while still being a great dad. Chili would benefit too. She'd get to relax more, knowing that her son could step in and help with the girls. The healers could have a more balanced life, with Bandit and Chili sharing the load while still finding time for the whole family would thrive with the support of an older sibling in the mix. Now, if you've ever had doubts about Bluey's older brother, there's clear evidence in the show that suggests he existed, even if just as part of the healer family's past. In 2 key episodes, it's hinted that Bandit and Chili had a child before Bluey. The first clue comes in the episode where Bluey and Bingo perform a little Mother's Day play. They act out how they think their parents met and how they came into the world. During the skit, Bingo accidentally pops a balloon under Chili's shirt. It's a small moment, but it triggers an uncomfortable atmosphere between Bandit and Chili. Bandit holds Chili's hand tightly, as if supporting her through a painful memory. This tension hints at the loss of a previous child, a memory that clearly affects them both deeply. The second clue is in the rainy day episode. Near the end, Chili and Bluey look up at the sky and see 2 rainbows. The sight of these rainbows is significant because it symbolizes that Bluey is a rainbow baby, a term used for children born after a loss. This moment is a beautiful yet somber acknowledgement that Bluey wasn't the first baby, but rather the second child, following a tragedy. These 2 moments clearly show that there was another baby in the healer family, and while it's never directly stated, the implications are strong. Bluey's older brother was a part of their lives before Bluey arrived, and his loss left a lasting impact on the family, making his presence in the story even more poignant. The loss of Bluey's older brother is a tragic part of the healer family story, and it raises the question of what might have caused the miscarriage. There are a few possibilities to consider, each adding depth to the family's history. One theory connects to Chili's side of the family, specifically the medical history of Aunt Brandy. As the older sister, Brandy's struggles with having children likely made Chili aware of the risks, knowing about the potential for complications. Chili might have feared that the same fate could befall her. This could explain the first miscarriage, a heartbreaking but possible genetic factor that affected her. Another theory is tied to emotional stress. Chili might have received some terrible news during her pregnancy, something so upsetting it caused the miscarriage. Many fans believe this tragic news could have been the death of Chili's own mother, a loss that is referenced in the show. This would make the situation doubly sad, as it would involve the loss of both a child and a parent, a devastating blow to any family. However, no matter the cause, this is one of those questions that might never get a clear answer. The show's tone is lighthearted and cheerful, and addressing something so heavy could make the series feel too sad. The impact of this loss is still felt in subtle ways, influencing the family dynamics and how Chili and Bandit approach parenthood. At the end of the day, Bluey remains one of the best shows today, and while the healer's story carries moments of sadness, it also celebrates love, family, and the joy of life. The show's ability to balance both the highs and lows is what makes it so special, and it's sure to be around for many years to come. And that's a wrap on what could have been Bluey's world with an older brother. Who knew there were so many layers to the healer family's story? Stick around. There's always more to explore in the world of Bluey.